Workplace diversity issue plays a role in all aspects of national, state, and local. As a national issue, diversity needs to have a better representation in a workplace. A workplace needs to present and advertise that all persons of ethnicity and race and other ideologies are all welcome. There are no discouragement on what a person is or what they believe in. Another national issue is that there needs to be more positive representation of a community. With diversity in the community, they would be able to receive better outcomes that we want and have a diversity of perspectives within the organizations. There should be some existing protocols when organizations want to represent their communities. During interview processes, in some companies, they tend to look for someone that meets the position's skills and abilities rather than looking at someone's ethnicity or race, which does not create much diversity. In a news article from National Center of Diversity, it showed that an African American was the first to receive the National Center for Diversity Prestigious Leaders in Diversity Award in the UK. The woman also believed that she wouldn't be able to receive the award because she was always left in the shadow doing the background work. She never had the confidence to try or thought she had the right work experience to get the award. No one should ever be looked below on because they never know a person's work ethics. In this chart, a survey was conducted in the city of Vancouver, Clark County, Bellingham, and Everett to determine the diversity of ethnicities between all cities. As you can compare and contrast the cities and ethnicities, white is the highest ethnicity in all cities listed above, followed by Hispanics. The least ethnicity is Native Americans, with it barely making it 1% in each city. In the state, there is also current issues in diversity in workplace. After Donald Trump was elected as president, there already has been many new changes. The Women's March on Washington occurred the day after the presidential inauguration, and the immigration and travel ban policies were enforced and changed from the White House. Another story that occurred in the States is that Google has been sued because there are mostly white or Asian male employees. There was a lack of women in leadership and technical positions. Another state issue is that organizations often ask minority employees to work double shifts. They are the ones often asked to educate other colleagues on racism, sexism, ableism, and all other isms. They are the ones to ensure when the company is short staffed, they will step in and take the responsibility. Employees of color rarely get recognized or evaluated for their work because they are always looked down on, which should not happen. Everyone works very hard in their job. In an interview conducted by Frank Newport and Ella Washington, they asked workers a series of questions regarding inclusion and worry when Trump got elected as president. About 3,200 workers were interviewed, and 59% of them were aware about their company's leadership communicating with workers about diversity and inclusion in the workplace. In this interview question, it asked if employees were worried in their workplace due to Trump becoming president, and there was a more percentage of people who were no more or less worried than usual, which was 68%. 12% of people were more worried, and 18% were less worried about how they are being treated in their workplace based on their race, ethnicity, or gender. In this question, they asked if leaders communicated about diversity and inclusion by employee engagement. And the results it showed that leaders that did communicate about diversity and inclusion in the workplace, 68% of their employees were engaged and 60% of the employees were not engaged. Also, if leaders did not communicate about diversity and inclusion in the workplace, there was 68 of employees that said they were actively disengaged. In the local news category, there are current issues about workplace diversity. Hawaii has one of the most diverse cultures, lifestyle, and workforce in the United States. With a wide range of diversity, it provides Hawaii with different kinds of food and activities, and it widens tourism and international trade on the island. With the wide range of diversity in the island, there is not enough engagement in the workplace for diversity. There are many laws and provisions today that are designed to protect employees involved in this type of situation. One act is Americans with Disabilities Act. also known as ADA. This act is defined as a person with a disability that includes a physical or mental impairment that may limit one or more major life activities. Also, it is prohibited to discriminate against a person with qualified disability. If an individual with a disability can perform essential functions with or without reasonable accommodation, person cannot be discriminated against on basis of their disability. These acts apply to the workplace because it ensures that all kinds of people and employees are able to work in the job field without being left out. Also, it ensures that no employees are being discriminated because of their culture, beliefs, race, ethnicity, and other ideologies. Another act is Age Discrimination in Employment Act. This act applies to employees of age 40 or older and with 20 or more employees. This prevents employers from giving preferential treatment to younger workers to the detriment of older workers. Also, this does not prevent an employer from favoring older employees over younger employees. Another law that provides and designed to protect employees is Fair Labor Standards Act. It's defined as providing regulation as to duration of workdays, breaks that an employer must provide, and salary and overtime requirements that are set by the federal government. All employees are to be treated equally with their job duties and responsibilities. Lastly, Family and Medical Leave Act is defined as employers must allow their employees to take up to a 12-week leave of absence for qualified medical purposes. For an employee to qualify, they must have been working for the employer for 12 months and 1,250 hours in the last 12 months leading up to the leave date. These employees are supposed to hold the qualified employee's position for the duration of their leave.